From Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, CN8 and the NJSIAA are proud to present the Central Jersey Group 4 State Championship High School Football game between the 9-2 Piscataway Chiefs and the undefeated Red Devils of Hunterdon Central. Hi, everybody. Dave Popkin and Mike Linder with you for a very intriguing matchup. Piscataway, Mike, basically the Buffalo Bills of Central Jersey football, and Hunterdon Central is kind of in foreign territory right now. They haven't been here much.
Oh, absolutely. Piscataway been here 3 out of the last 4 years, but they've been unable to pick up the victory. They're going to try and get the trophy today. On the other side, Hunterdon Central, although they won back in '79, the seniors were in kindergarten the last time they made even a playoff appearance in 1985. Somebody's got to get one today, though, huh?
No, there's not going to be a tie today. These teams are warming up in the bubble. The Piscataway band is warming up the crowd here at Giant Stadium. And let's check out these players. Hunterdon Central's had a big year. Melvin Hubbard, a big reason why.
Oh, he proves the adage that big things come in small packages. 5'7", 175 pounds, but 1,511 yards this year and 16 touchdowns. He's a good one.
Will Seja is the defensive stopper and a 5'2" front for Jim Meart's team.
The senior leading tackler, 95 tackles on the year, and he's got 9 sacks, and most importantly, 26 tackles have been in the backfield for losses. He is a senior leader on a junior-laden club.
Piscataway might be bigger and stronger. Kelvin Veras, a senior co-captain, is a great halfback.
He comes in also a little guy, 5'7", 165 pounds, but over 1,300 yards on the season. He averages 7 yards a carry and has 20 touchdowns on the year.
Joe Caroni's defense is rugged, and Roger Hopkins is a senior defensive end that leads them.
6'3", 225 pounds, a real package. 79 tackles, but get this stat, 14.5 sacks already on the season. He is outstanding from that defensive end position.
Should be a pretty evenly matched ball game. The Central Jersey Group 4 State Championship game. Kickoff comes your way next from the Meadowlands. Stay tuned. This is CN8.
Of Pennsylvania, and a very, very intense guy.
And he's really brought this program back on the other sideline. Joe Caroni in his 9th season, 51, 32, and 2. Former assistant here as well under the state championship teams in 74 and 81, and he's looking to win the big one for himself for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it'll be for himself second because he wants it for the team first.
Getting set for the kickoff of this one, Hunterdon Central in red with the white pants. They will kick off. Jared Gutkowski is one of the top kickers in the area, and he will boot it deep. Good run back. Anthony Best, the up back, 5'6", 152 with a very positive gain up to the 40-yard line. And there's the quarterback, Mike Dow. He is a senior.
Yeah, not a bad one. 46 completions out of 106 throws. He doesn't really throw the ball that much, but he has 912 yards and 9 TDs that way. You're going to see him really just leading the way, calling the plays, and getting it to the big guys, Veras or Jackson in the backfield.
Larry Lester being his deep threat. We'll take a look at the offense after this play. Dow shouting out the signals. Piscataway with the ball first from their own 40, and everybody a little over anxious for this championship game.
Yeah, it looked like the guard, John Committee, just committed a little too early, in fact.
Have a dead ball, false start on the offense.
Tom Fisher, the referee, his last game, Mike. Pat Titus, the ump, Herb Cliff, Ken Mizrek, Jeff Cohen.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk about Tom maybe a little later. A real interesting story. 28 years in officiating, and this is it. The top of the game, a championship game. Going to go out after this one.
We asked him, what has been your biggest game? He said, this is going to be my biggest game, Giant Stadium. 1st and 15 after the penalty, going for Lester, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Lou Alperone, and Central gets it right away. The senior right cornerback made it.
They felt pass all the way. They were really back. They had given quite a cushion, and of course they did not check off. Dow did not check off. Just going to look downfield and try to loft the football. You're not going to get away with it when they're expecting it. Lester has been his big guy all year, but backing off was Alperone, and the senior, just too experienced for this one. Anticipate pass on the long 1st and 15 situation, step back there, and then read it and get to it. That'll be up to this guy, huh? Andrew Conforti, Jr., and has an outstanding season.
Conforti hands off to the tailback, and Melvin Hubbard doesn't get much. Back to the line of scrimmage. Knocked down by Roger Hopkins, who we talked about in the open. And there is Hubbard, along with the blocking back Mike Carr, Jared Mazzetta, Gary Games, and Parker Jacks are the receivers. Darren Eberstein, Anthony Petragula, Luke Catanacci, Pat Lyons, and Chris Royal are the offensive linemen for Jim Meart's team. 2nd down and 10 after that last run by Hubbard. Here's Carr, the fullback, and he drives up to the 46-yard line. A good job by the defensive coordinator's son. Here's the defense for Piscataway. Roger Hopkins, Andres Villafane, Ricardo Allen, Justin Hines up front in the 4-3 set. Sismanovich, Williams, and Robley, Lester, Veras, Phillips, and Jackson, the defensive backs. Lester has 5 interceptions this year. And it'll be Hubbard. And he will get the first down by a foot or two. Hopkins tripped up Melvin Hubbard, the junior, but he got just enough.
Well, you know, they're going to go off tackle. They're going to try and slide to the outside the way they did that time. And the key to getting to the outside would be Mazzetta's block, as Melvin Hubbard has been the big ball carrier for him all season long. Wanted to try and get daylight, but Mazzetta, the tight end, had to give him the key block, slide down the line. He did that, and he picked up the yardage almost enough. We'll see if it is enough for the first down.
They will come and measure it, Mike. Very, very close. They initially put up a 1 for the first down, and looks like they're a little shy. 4th and a foot coming here, it looks like.
And they bring the special teams in, going to play field position, trying to get Piscataway backed up. Not a bad idea. We'll take a look here. See if we can see Mazzetta trying to string the man right on there. Pushing. But they come to, and get the corner, comes up, makes the stop. Excellent job as Hopkins comes into the picture.
On 4th and 1, the punting unit comes on. Eric Simon, the senior, will kick it away. Veras handles all the punt and kick returns for Piscataway, and he is deep. The ball won't get to him. Bounces near the 20. It ends up on the 13-yard line, where it's touched up by Sean Batoni. Good punt by Simon inside the 20.
Yeah, anytime you get it down there inside the 20, they got to be very, very happy. I thought maybe a little mistake appeared, that there was time to really get to that one and at least keep it from rolling.
Never got to see much of this offense as Mike Dow threw an interception to Lou Alperone on his first pass.
It's a high-powered one. They average over 27 and a half points a game coming in.
Quick handoff to Kelvin Veras, and he gets nothing up the middle. A big attacking defense is the strength for Hunterdon Central. There's the offense for Piscataway. Kelvin Veras, Tyshawn Jackson, Larry Lester, Justin Hines, and Calvin Beal are the skill players. The Big Uglies, Matt Ritchie, Andres Villafane, Roger Hopkins, John Cometti, and Joe Williams at tackle. Williams is big guy, 6'2", 248, and Ritchie, the other tackle, 290 pounds. Mike, that is an advantage we will keep an eye on. Piscataway much bigger on each line. Veras eludes 1 or 2 tacklers, but cannot escape the red crush. Mike Carr helped out with that tackle, the left defensive end, and Brian Cass also up front, Jason Troilo, Jared Mazzetta. Nose guard is Mancino. The linebackers, Jeff Evans and Will Saja, who we talked about in the open. Corners, Danny Bavona, Lou Alperone, and Eric Simon, Jason Evans are the safeties.
Both these teams like to get the off tackle and then make a judgment whether or not they turn back to the inside or if they scoot to the outside. Very, very similar in terms of the offensive choice.
Didn't get much with the run. Lester goes in motion on 3rd and 7. So Dow will try to pass it. And he hits his receiver for the first down. Good catch made by Calvin Beal, the senior split end.
Now remember, we talked about on the interception how the corners had dropped and given a big cushion. They came right back anticipating this cushion. Beal went down about 8-10 yards and just hooked. Look at the distance between him and the corner that you saw back there to the left of your screen, just coming into it right now. They're going to give you the cushion. We'll take the 8 to 10 yards. They're going to come up, play bump and run. We're going to try and beat you deep.
only the 5th catch this year for Beal. Back split for Dow. Tyshawn Jackson to the 30-yard line. Gets 4 or 5.
That is the other play that they love to run, that little counter trap back in the middle of the line. They'll pull Villafane one way, or they'll pull Cometti the other way, and then they'll get the backs. Jackson on one side, Virus on the other on that quick trap to the inside.
Tyshawn Jackson, a good story for Piscataway. Missed 4 games in the middle of the season. He was out with knee surgery, cartilage damage on his right knee, and yet he fought back, rehabbed, is here for this game, and it really has inspired his teammates. Jackson in the backfield again. They fake it to him. Down. Just directing it. Hey, head down the sideline. It's incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Hunterdon Central. Good coverage by Danny Bavona.
That quarterback's got to have poise. He's got to have patience. He's got to have all that. He has to be able to get back here, look first for any kind of pressure. He gets it from Mancino, number 78. And then he gets away from him, and now here is the poise and the weight until he can get the ball downfield. It is no good, but there is no loss on the play. And you watch how he's just going to get a good block there to help him, but he takes the hit right there as Jeff Evans, number 40, comes in and says, here I am, I'm going to meet you right there later in the ball game 3 or 4 times at least.
Jeff Evans, the senior, really laying the wood to Dow that time. 3rd and 6 from the Piscataway 30-yard line. Lester again in motion. And Dow gets the first down. Completion out across the 40-yard line. Catch made by Asamoah. Dow starting to pick up steam after that early interception.
That's that same play again with the hook. Nana Yaw Asamoah downfield. This time number 81 just turns on the hook and looks for first down territory and is happy to get it. You're not going to be able to give them that cushion and not have them take advantage of it over and over again. Sooner or later, you've got to come up and play a little bump and run. They're worried very much about Piscataway's speed. They know it from watching them on film. They know it from scouting them. That's why they're giving the cushion right now. See how long Dow takes advantage of it.
They do it again here, Mike. They're playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage with a cornerback on the far side. Hand off to Kelvin Veras, the senior, and he gets 6 yards up to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Ryan Cass, the left defensive tackle.
Now that's that basic offensive play that we tell you they feature here. Remember, that play can go outside, it can go inside. The key to it is the ability of the back coming to the point of attack, making the judgment whether to turn up inside a block or to scoot to the outside as the man screens the guy back to the inside. That is a read all the way by the halfbacks.
2nd and 5 from the 45. Chiefs trying to move the football on a very stingy Red Devil defense. One of Hunterdon's specialties, creating turnovers. Tyshawn Jackson breaks a couple tackles. Jackson to the 20. Ty Jackson to the 10, to the 8-yard line. A huge pickup for Tyshawn Jackson, the junior halfback.
With speed, it can happen at any moment. You may stop them for 2. You may stop them for 3. Look at this quick trap right here in the inside. There it comes. Number 78 is coming in there, going to make that block. That's Matt Ritchie. That was a tackle block. A 290-pound guy coming in, throwing the key block. And then it's just speed. I thought maybe he was going to try and get back to the inside, but he looks for the corner that way. Let me tell you, Ritchie just threw a crushing trap block to set him free.
And Danny Bavona made a touchdown-saving tackle for Hunterdon Central. Straight ahead run by Kelvin Veras. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. 2nd and goal from the 9. Dow getting the play call from Joe Caroni, the head coach, who calls the plays himself.
You call those guys right there the big uglies every time you introduce them. I'll tell you what, they may be big and ugly, but those backs, Jackson and Veras, playing an awful lot of kisses on them for those kind of blocks that they open up. Just super job up front.
2nd down for Piscataway. And they pitch it to Veras. And he has the corner. And Veras is in. Adios. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. The 21st TD this year for Kelvin Veras.
They love it over there, don't they, on this side where they're up and cheering right away. Their team breaks into the scoring column first, and they do it with Kelvin Veras, who gets the chance to get the 6 points after Jackson gets the big yardage, huh? They've been alternating all year long in any event.
What a luxury to have two backs like that. Joe Mastro Giovanni for the extra point, and it's blocked. Good block up front by Jason Evans, making it a 6-0 ball game. Piscataway. There is a flag down on this play. Here's the block.
Well, it just comes from the outside. Nobody touches him at all. Look at that. They figure that they've got enough that they can get it off quick enough. They don't have to worry about it. Well, they'll worry about it for a while.
Penalty declined. Jason Evans with that eye black, looking mean, and see the stars on his helmet.
All right, watch with the power pitch. Here comes Veras, but look at 6'3", Andres Villafane, 222 pounds. He's out there and gets the seal block. Veras knows it. This time, instead of coming back to the inside, they seal block to the inside with Villafane, number 63, and therefore Veras reads it and scoots to the outside. All day long, you're going to see that play. Could be left tackle, could be right outside, left outside. So we got the great block from Matt Ritchie on the previous play, the long one by Jackson. This time, Villafane is the man with the block to key Veras into the end zone.
Kelvin Veras creating the 6-0 lead. He had 5 carries for 17 yards on that drive, including a 9-yard TD run, as you see. And they really used a lot of clock on a 10-play, 86-yard drive. Joe Caroni still not smiling, but that was a nice play call.
You got to be happy, but you know they've been here before. What we say, 3 out of the last 4 times. 2 of those state final games last year, a semifinal. They want to hang tough and have that enthusiasm and commitment the whole game.
Backs deep, Hubbard and Evans near the 10-yard line for this kickoff from Andres Villafane, the guy that threw that last block that Mike was talking about. Villafane with a squib kick up the AstroTurf to the 24. And the player's knee was down. So that is where Hunterdon Central will take over at their own 25-yard line. The only state title ever for that team, Hunterdon Central, 1979. Jim Meert was not there. Some of his assistants were around. Former QB at Upper St. Clair High School in Pittsburgh and St. Francis, PA. Offensive-oriented coach. And what a great staff he has. Quarterback Andrew Conforti gets about 3 yards before being tackled by a host of Chiefs.
Conforti that time looked as if he was just going to try and get into the flow of the game because he's running that fake into the belly of the halfback coming in, and then he's supposed to look for a hole where to turn upfield. Instead, he just turned and said, hey, let me get into the mix here. Let me feel it a little bit. Now I'm ready to go, huh? I've been hit. I've been down.
Jermaine Coleman knocked him down that time. A backup on defense who's played a lot here early. Carry by Jason Evans. Backup tailback, very close to the first down. They may have to measure again. Evans is the one that just blocked that extra point.
Yeah, that gets him a chance to get into the backfield, huh? Replace Hubbard right here. Get a chance to run it. 6'1", 190-pound senior.
Thinks he's had a lot of good games, Mike. You see all the black stars on his helmet, and they give skulls.
Were they stars or skulls? Which were they?
They were stars for the offensive plays, and they give him skulls for defensive plays. Conforti, the QB again, is basically a running quarterback, an option QB, and he rushes forward to the 40, picking up the first down.
He just came up and touched the rump of Catenacci, the center, and said, hey, they're just giving us all the room we need to get what we need for the first down. Let's just go on the snap count and take it, no matter what play they might have called in the backfield in the huddle.
3:52 left, first quarter. Piscataway, the team in white and black on top, 6-0. Hunterdon Central, undefeated, slightly favored coming in. They get a nice rush forward by Mike Carr, the junior fullback, and Carr gets about 7.
Interesting set here. It's almost a full house backfield, in fact. Then watch Hubbard come through. He's got to find a linebacker to try and block. Ran right by the big guy that winds up making the stop, Justin Hines, 95. That should have been the guy who should have turned inside and tried to get to him. Doesn't happen. And he winds up, Hines that is, making the tackle. Hines coming at 6'4", 250 off that right defensive end.
Red Devils go with some deception here. Conforti throws it shy of his tight end, Jared Mazzetta. junior tight end. And talk about juniors, most of the starters on both sides of the ball are juniors, Mike.
But particularly this 100 Central club. This is a group that came in as freshmen a couple years ago, went undefeated. As 8th graders in the old Pop Warner League, they never lost a game either. I mean, it's just a magnificent group. They expected great things out of them. They've gotten it. They'll get through this game, and then they're going to sit down and say, we should be able to do this all over again next year.
The entire backfield that you're looking at now, all juniors. Evans isn't, and the senior picks up the first down. Evans has played a lot here in the first quarter. Didn't have the big stats coming in, but the senior getting his run. 6'1", 190, making his presence felt.
Yeah, they'd like to give that senior the chance in the big championship game. He's earned it with all the play that he's given him over the last 4 years and the outstanding play this year, both ways, defense and offense. So why not give him the shot? That's a neat play, though. That one, Hubbard goes one way and the other halfback comes the other way. They just keep the defense balanced and stretched so they can't overload.
Little play action to the fullback, airing it out, incomplete, intended again for Jared Mazzetta, the 6'5", 235-pound tight end. He's also a basketball star for the Red Devils.
Yeah, they've got a lot of two-sport players here, lacrosse, basketball, wrestling, we'll talk about. Now, if he had turned up and in, right there in front of the defensive back, he's got a shot. But instead, he continued to run the pattern the way it is normally designed. At this point in the season, you think the quarterback, tight end have a little better communication. Look for that hook in front of the defender.
Play your position is what it says on Villafaine's helmet, and they have done that so far. Piscataway with a 6-0 lead, 2:40 left in the first here on C. Dave Popkin and Mike Linder back with you at Giant Stadium. Everybody has something different written on their helmet, Mike. I guess directions from the coaches.
Oh, absolutely. What a great technique, huh? Sit down with each one of them, tell them exactly what their specific responsibility is. Bend, don't break on that one. I'll tell you what, we'll have to get a chance to look at every helmet.
Bend, don't break for the linebackers. And Evans, another big run, about 9 yards on second down for Jason Evans.
All right, I got a question for you. Remember bend, break? That's what you're talking about. Bend, but don't break. What team really popularized that idea?
Don't remember.
Well, we'll let you think about it for a while.
Okay. And you at home can play along with Coach Mike Linder.
Go all the way back to a team that started in the NFL after being in another league and no longer have a club, but will soon. They will soon.
Cleveland Browns.
You got it.
Okay. 3rd and 1. Conforti hands off to Melvin Hubbard. And Hubbard is very close to the first down at the 37-yard line.
Haven't seen much out of Hubbard yet, but listen, he is very much like Jackson and Virus on the far side. They may only get a couple of yards here, a couple of yards there, but all of a sudden when the seam opens, when there is a break in the defensive line and a linebacker is maybe a half a step slow, bang, off to the races, and you're going to see them get the big yardage. The same way we saw Jackson get that long run earlier for Piscataway.
We saw Kelvin Varus, who came in to cut down Hubbard, but not in time to prevent the first down. From the 37, there goes Conforti. He picks up the first down and dives toward the 20. Red Devils first down at the 21-yard line. That is Conforti's strength.
And I'll tell you what, who gives him the big block? Watch 25, Carr. Right there, he came back, hooked back on the defensive end, got him above the waist, so no penalty flag would be thrown, and that allowed Conforti to have the corner. You'll see him take the ball here, turn, he's got a look, he knows it's going to be pressure from the corner. There's Carr, look at him, making the block, and beautiful job done that time. Lays off when he gets below the waist. Would have been a penalty flag, and Conforti took advantage of that nice block.
A crackback block, but by no means an illegal block, so you knock him down from the waist, and it results in a big gain. Evans, again, fights inside the 20. Doesn't get much that time. Jason Evans up to the 19-yard line where the Chiefs round him up. Kurt Robley, senior linebacker, helped out on the tackle. Jim Meert.
You know, we checked these teams out in the bubble earlier today when they were arriving early for practice, and Meert, and the way he looks right now, under control. That's the way the team was, and this drive is one that's under control. In high school football, you're going to drive 7, 8, 9 plays. You better have it within yourself. You cannot be over anxious or you're going to make a mistake, going to be a turnover.
2nd and 8 for the Red Devils. Evans again. and Evans is dropped for a loss. Larry Lester came from his cornerback position to drop him. Only a sophomore, starts on both sides of the ball.
And did last year on defense. Larry Lester had a chance to play last year as a freshman on a fine Piscataway club. When you have a team that's a winning team over the years and you bring a freshman in and he has the skill development to come out there and play right away, you know he's a good one, and what a career he's going to have before he's done.
You would think so, and no surprise that he has that skill development. His dad is one of the assistant coaches for Piscataway, and all of these Piscataway assistants were around during the heyday of Chiefs football when they won their state championships in 74 and 81. And Conforti completes it to Bezzetta at the 3-yard line. First down and goal for Hunterdon Central.
Third time's the charm, huh? Missed him twice. 2 times, both times that he was open. Once when he was coming across the middle and he stumbled a little bit. That time he gets it.
That is the end of the first quarter, and it's been a good one. 6-0 Piscataway, and a big play puts Hunterdon Central in scoring position at the 3. We come back with second quarter action on CN8. First completion of the game for Andrew Conforti, the Red Devil QB.
Hey, but an excellent fake right there. Froze everybody as Hubbard came in the middle. Looked downfield, had a man deep in the end zone, and then had Mazzetti up in front of him. Excellent run pattern. See the man deep and took the double coverage away. Puts him down here now. What a long drive. This is highly unusual at high school level to be able to get this without mistakes.
14th play of the drive coming up for Jim Meart's team, the Red Devils. They're undefeated, ranked 7th in one poll and 6th in another in the state of New Jersey. See what they try on first and goal from the 2.5. Not much. Jason Evans gets inside the 2 for Hunterdon Central.
Well, they tried to have the senior do it, didn't they? Tried to get the two-man car and Hubbard out in front to block for him, and let's give him another chance. Anybody paints his face that way. Look, it looks like he's been crying or perspiration or whatever, but, we saw him inside in the bubble early. He had taken that eye black and he had made those marks all the way down the cheeks, huh?
Come out and scare
Cooper
somebody.
Look. Hey, is that what it is?
Yeah, the Alice Cooper look.
Huh? I think, I'd have to go back to like the Sinatra look or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think these guys remember him.
Yeah.
Second and goal from the 1. Hunterdon Central trying to tie it up. They don't do it that time. Looked like Mike Carr, the fullback, got knocked head over tea kettle. Yep, the fullback Carr down to the 1-yard line where it'll be third and goal.
Well, how about that? They just said, we can do this man on man. We'll beat you with the line surge. But it's not going to happen. Look at that surge back defensively that time. Excellent job done by Ricardo Allen, the senior defensive tackle, to say, you're not going to do that. It will not be just a surge and into the end zone. You got to do something a little more fancy than that.
4-down territory. Third and goal from the 1. They tried 2 runs. And now full house backfield. See what the Red Devils try. Handoff, touchdown.
Well, they couldn't do it on one side. They said, we'll do it on the other side. Which side of the offensive line wants to throw the blocks? We gave you a shot on the left side. We're going to give you a shot on the right side. Right side came through that time, huh? No trouble at all for Carr picking up the touchdown. Tried the senior on the first play, Evans. Now they come back with Carr, the junior, to get the score.
Mike Carr, the junior, punches it in. Part of a legacy at Hunterdon Central. His dad, Tom, is the defensive coordinator, and he was back in '79 as well when they won their only state title. Jared Gutkowski, the school record holder for most point-after touchdowns, splits the uprights, and Hunterdon Central takes the lead 7-6, and we'll watch as we go along, Mike, to see if that blocked extra point by Evans comes into play. Right now, it definitely does.
Oh, he came flying, and, they'll remember that for a long time if it is a crucial point later in the ball game. Meart trying to get him fired up, huh? Take a look here. Just straight ahead blocking. Nothing fancy. No trap. No pulling men. And right behind the block of Chris Royal will be Mike Carr, number 66 with a key block, getting him into the end zone. And he got in the end zone in a hurry, didn't he? They have a great tradition here trying to keep the community alive in Hunterdon Central in terms of involved with the football program.
16 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown for the Red Devils. They brought busloads up from western New Jersey for this one. The Red Devils won the Skyland Conference this year, the Delaware Division. And they're a great story. I mean, as you see the backs deep, Veras and Lester for this Gutkowski kickoff.
Hunterdon Central last year was 4-5. The year before they were 1-8. And this year they're undefeated and playing for a state title. Larry Lester cuts inside and then back out. Gets up to the 27-yard line. Good return for the sophomore.
Lester has that look, doesn't he? The way they walk back slowly to the huddle. But they're the kind of players that just explode all the time. Seem to, oh, I don't have much left. But look at him turn it on here. Looking for something from the wall. Nothing there. So he decides he has to get to the outside. Watch Callahan come in right there. 21. Nearly cost him some penalty points right there. 15 yards maybe for jumping on too much.
Piscataway ball. They're down 1. 10:35 left in the second quarter. Lester in motion on 1st and 10. Ferris fumbled the football. It's loose. Looks like the Red Devils have it, and they do at the 31. Great field position. Recovered by Danny Bavona, the junior, who has been all over the place.
You wonder sometimes, how do things happen in a ball game? You wonder here, how does this fumble happen? I mean, does it get knocked out of his hand coming back from the wing-back position? A little trap on the inside. There's the reason. Knocked out by that one defender. Reaches up. See if we can catch the number right in here. There's Carr, and it's Carr does it again. Knocks the ball right out of there, and then up with the big recovery will be Bavona. Great teams make their own breaks, huh? But more importantly, they take advantage of it. See if they can stick one in and get some points off this turnover.
Each team has turned it over one time.
Oh!
Big, big hole, and there he goes. Hubbard, touchdown. Way to capitalize on the turnover. Melvin Hubbard. 17th touchdown of the year.
Well, what we say, give me 2 yards, give me 2 yards, give me 3 yards, but then give me a seam, and boom, I'm off to the races. That's exactly what you saw here. 31-yard scamper into the end zone, huh?
Calm as always, Coach Jim Meert. 31-yard TD run for the junior Melvin Hubbard.
Look at this kid.
No surprise that that one is good by Jarrett Gutkowski. Holds a number of kicking records at Hunterdon Central. The senior knocks it through for a 14-6 lead here with 10:24 left in the second quarter.
And keep it alive and say, let's go back and get some more. Keep our focus, keep our concentration. They sure had it on that last play. Watch this hole. Watch this hole. Oh, what a crushing block out of the backfield for Hubbard, the springing. Super job done by the leading back to give him the key block to get him the room he needed to get into the end zone. I'll tell you, it's just speed here, huh? Runs right away from the defensive backs, and there are no slouches in the speed department themselves. Right off the get-go. Nice turn. There's the block right there. That should be Carr. Throws the key block. He's done everything today, hasn't he? Number 25, the junior Carr, lets the junior Hubbard get the 6 points.
That was really Carr's drive. He forced the fumble and then made that big block as the Red Devils score again here at the Meadowlands. Gutkowski will kick it off. Hubbard, incidentally, 5 carries, 40 yards, and a touchdown after that last one. Larry Lester from his own 1-yard line. Lester bulls forward to the 20. A 19-yard return tackled by Jeff Evans.
You know, every kickoff, you got to have one guy's going to go down. He says, I'm the man. I'm the man. This is the guy right here, Jeff Evans. We love him, the way he hits. And he gets down here, fight off the wall, fight off the wall. Keep looking, though. Look at the vision as he's looking now. He slides off the block and makes the stop. Number 40, Jeff Evans. Outstanding job, and you got to really want it if you're going to play special teams.
1st and 10 Piscataway. They need some points. At their own 19-yard line, Jackson goes nowhere. Lucky he didn't fumble the football. They mugged him. Will Saja finished off the tackle.
And he's known for getting those tackles for losses. He had, 26 before this ball game coming in. He's really in the backfield there, and that's another one will be chalked up as a loss. 1-yard loss on that play.
Hubbard with the 31-yard run. Pretty quick drive.
Pretty quick. Can't get it much quicker, can you?
Well, his defense forced the turnover, and this is really, I mean, you can overwork statistics, and I often do, but this is the stat of the year. Hunterdon Central this year, a +35 turnover ratio.
A what?
+35 turnover ratio in only 11 ball games. and it's helped them to a couple scores today. Nearly another one. Nearly picked off by Jared Mazzetta, the defensive end who dropped back into coverage.
I'll tell you what, you know you've got a sophisticated team and a bunch of young men that know how to play football and understand the concept. When you can take a defensive end at the high school level like Mazzetta right here, number 86, and drop him into pass coverage, that takes away that pattern flaring out of the backfield where Lester, number 2, was going up the sideline. Mazzetta not only played it well, but you're right, nearly picked it off and got 6.
Mazzetta had that big catch on offense down the other end in the first quarter as well. The Chiefs, 3rd and 10. They are 2 for 2 on third down conversions, 3rd and 12 after the loss. Sack and a fumble, and the ball is loose and picked up and in for the touchdown. Ryan Cass recovers the fumble by Mike Dow, goes in for the score, and Hunterdon Central is making a statement here in the first half at Giant Stadium.
Well, I'll tell you what, this came out of nowhere. This came from backside pressure. We'll have a chance to take a look. Probably Mazzetta, who came and got the quarterback Dow, but Dow's looking around now saying, what happened? It's almost the look of shock, isn't it? He's saying, hey, somebody explain that one to me. Where did the man come from? I didn't even see he was coming. Didn't feel it. Didn't even sense it. Well, he's got a long way to go, so he wants to keep his composure. A lot of time left in this ball game.
What's wrong with that picture?
Well, there they are right now.
Everyone shifting into position for the Gutkowski extra point. He's getting a workout. Another extra point makes it 21-6. A Ryan Cass fumble recovery for a touchdown. Gutkowski 3 for 3 on the point after conversions.
Watch Dow. Now with a key play here, and there's the defensive man coming. That's going to be the play. Sajak comes again. Was he going to throw the football or not? Was the arm going forward? Sajak said no, and certainly right here, Ryan Cass said no. In any event, he's not going to wait around to find out. We'll get a better look here. Sajak, the big man with the sacks. This would be 10 if there were a sack here. No way. That ball is not going forward. That is a fumble all the way. Cass, the opportunistic guy, says, hey, I'll take it. I'll run it on in. Defense was kind of hoping that it was an incomplete pass. We'll take a look here and see how Dow feels about it. Dow thought it. No, that's hit by the helmet. His arm has not gone forward. Dow's probably going to say, hey, guys, blow the whistle. What do you mean touchdown? No way. And then he puts the head down with the frustration, disappointment.
Anguish. 21-6. Hunterdon Central looking for their 12th win of the season. 3rd turnover by Piscataway in the first half. That will always kill you. And that is where Hunterdon Central had the advantage coming in. Turnover differential and kicking game. Return by Anthony Best. Didn't get much up to the 20-yard line. Tackle again on special teams by Sean Batoni, a sophomore. Families and friends of the Red Devils enjoying themselves. 9:13 left in the second quarter.
And that's an important number. 9:13 left in this first half. What Piscataway wants to do is realize that. Don't get out of your game plan. They got to stay with it, go with what they anticipated, what they believe will work. They cannot panic. It's much too early.
And they do run the ball, Mike, with Veras. And he picks up 2 or 3 on the left side. Seja there for another tackle. The senior inside linebacker, who's a good Division I AA, perhaps a Division 1A prospect on defense, making the hit.
Well, a lot of people always talk about that, too small, 6'2", 205. I don't know about that. You just got to find the right school, huh?
Yep, got to find the right fit. And you saw Seja really as the defensive captain speaking to the Red Devils on that side of the ball. After that last carry, Veras only 21 yards on 7 carries. Lester doesn't look like he got the first down, tackled by Sean Batoni.
Boy, that's a play they've run a lot. They can just see the way they did it. Take the snap, lift the ball, get it up there, perfect timing to Lester. That only works when you have run it so often in practice and you got the timing down perfectly. You're telling him, run to the stick for the first down. I'm going to put the ball right on that mark. You'll get it. You'll fall forward. We'll have the first down. Well, it didn't work. But I'll tell you what, they've got pressure on him. He's got to throw these short ones. Look at that effort coming up over top. Outstanding job. These guys really wanted. I think that was Doug J, wasn't it?
Couldn't tell on the far side. It looked like it, and Tyshawn Jackson is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. A run blitz that time, and they cut him down. Tackle made by Mike Carr.
Yeah, well, Carr is going to get the tackle. He's the blitzing man, but it's Mancini, number 78. It was the big wall right there in the middle. See, no way he was going to be blocked by the center, Roger Hopkins. Mancini says, I own this area. And, hey, there's not much difference in size. They both go 225, 230, but Mancini got the best of them there.
Lester, bad snap, and it's a fake on the punt. Not sure if it was designed after the botched snap. He tried to get the first down at the 30-yard line. Very close, might be a couple feet short. Larry Lester needed only 2 yards, but of course he was deep in the backfield getting set to punt.
I'll tell you what, if he's lucky, he's going to get it, because this certainly is not a design play. Not in this situation, down 21-6. Gets the bounce. He knows that when he gets a bad snap, he's got to make a decision. Remember, he's a sophomore. He had all kinds of time. Hey, the way he ran it, maybe you're right. I don't know, because he had so much time.
Plenty.
You know, he could have punted it, and they got lucky. That ball just past the stripe, and they get the first down. So Lester will breathe a sigh of relief.
2 more inches shy, and Hunterdon Central has the ball in great field position again at the 30. Instead, it keeps the drive going. This way, this year, Piscataway is 60% on 4th down conversions. They really didn't mean that, but getting the job done.
You're not going to hold them in check all day. They're just too good an offensive ball club.
Tyshawn Jackson, 3 or 4 yards. Saja with another tackle for the Red Devils.
Let's go back and remember that run that Jackson had that led into their score. And, you know, that can happen with speed any time in a ball game. Now, important for them, they'd love to at least control the football here over the last 4, 5, 6 minutes of the 7:05 left. But what they really would love to do is get one more score and even this up, tighten it up before halftime.
Joe Caroni's team, number 1 in the Home News Tribune this year. 20th in the state in another poll. Total yards pretty even, but not even on the scoreboard as Mike Dow throws and nearly intercepted on the near side. Mike Carr again.
Is he having a game or what? I think they are very well scouted. Somebody put together a defensive plan here based on what they anticipated, and they said when they step back, they're going to look for that quick out pattern to their speedy receivers. So you guys drop into that zone and try to get the arms up and make him either throw it high and up and over, or you maybe even get a chance to intercept it. Looking for Lester again, number 2.
Nearly the 4th turnover of the first half for Piscataway. And you see those defensive ends dropping back into coverage like Carr did that time. Surprising Piscataway, I think. 3rd and 7. Chiefs 2 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. Dow has Lester, and he bobbled it. He heard the footsteps from Danny Bavona, but Larry Lester was open. It would have been a first down.
I think he thought touchdown maybe by looking upfield, taking his eyes off of that ball right at the instant that the ball arrived. You can't do that. You got to look it all the way in. And that should have been a big play for him.
He was open. Dow after that drop, 3 of 8, 24 yards, 1 interception. Lester stays on to punt, and Hubbard is back to receive it for Hunterdon Central. It's a good punt, chasing it back to the 31-yard line, and he's stuck. 2-yard return. Tackle made by Roger Hopkins on special teams. Hunterdon Central playing very well in the first half. 6:28 left in the second quarter. They're up 21-6 here on CN.
Go, huh? All that glitters today may be gold. That's what they're aiming for. They came in throwing that glitter all over themselves today, didn't they, huh? And she loves the fact that she saw herself. Look at this.
Melvin Hubbard, who had a touchdown earlier, picks up a first down here up near midfield. And the Central cheerleaders like it. You're famous too.
And they're a happy group right now with 6:20 left here in the half and up with the lead, 21-6.
Hunterdon Central out near the Flemington area. regional high school, and Melvin Hubbard keeps the drive going for the Red Devils. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Carr, the fullback, picks up a yard or two out to the Meadowlands logo.
That is a keep you honest play. That one is not really designed to get much. They did score a touchdown on it running off to the right side, but they only needed a couple of yards there. This is the one that's designed to make sure the linebackers inside don't get too cute, start sliding to the outside of that off-tackle play or the pitch play. They want them to stay tight. You got to run that play every now and then.
2nd and 9, Conforti, the QB. First down and plenty more. What moves down to the 23-yard line?
I got to believe that's almost automatic by Conforti. Conforti comes out and looks at the line. He says, is there a hole somewhere? Can I find something down the line? Option, I'll take it wherever I can get it. Here he just steps right up where they gave him the seam. Most quarterbacks run it out further and further until the time they're supposed to make the decision. The good quarterbacks will say, I'm running the daylight wherever it happens to be, and that play Conforti found it.
27-yard gain, 4 rushes, 52 yards for the QB. Conforti, Luke Catanacci, his center, threw the big block on that play. There is a timeout on the field. 5:23 left in this exciting first half. Hunterdon Central leads it 21-6. Giant Stadium is the site for this Central Jersey Group 4 State Championship high school football game in New Jersey, and Hunterdon Central leads it 21-6. Jason Evans fights forward for 4 or 5 yards. Tackle made by a couple players. Leading the charge, Jermaine Coleman.
Key moment in the ball game, I think, for Piscataway more than it is for Hunterdon Central. Piscataway gets in and gets another score. It's really going to look tough at halftime. Look at the difference in the rushing yards. They're just getting 5 yards here, 7 yards there, and before you know it, it begins to add up. It becomes a real bunch. And not only that, they control the clock. The big thing was that drive that took so long before they scored, 15, 16 plays.
This would be a crushing blow for Piscataway. A two-way starter. Senior co-captain Roger Hopkins is down.
Yeah, he's the guy we talked about before the game. Remember, 14.5 sacks before this game, 79 tackles leading the way. He is an outstanding player and a great prospect. He has the size, the speed, the vision, and the commitment to play big-time football, and you don't ever want to see anybody hurt. You never want to see these big guys hurt.
Roger Hopkins has already been offered a scholarship from Temple University.
Yeah, they stand around here. They're going to take all the time they need to attend to the needs of Roger Hopkins, as it should be. And look at the man get up. That's what we wanted to see. Get him off to the sideline, loosen him up a little bit, and then get him back out there.
Pete Buccino, the trainer, walking to his left. Looks like we may see Hopkins again before this one is out. 5:07 left in the second quarter of this state championship game here at the Meadowlands. That team in red, Hunterdon Central, leads it 21-6. They've gotten TDs from Carr, Hubbard, and Cass. The last coming on a fumble recovery. Not much doing on the right side for Hubbard. Gets up to the 20.
Yeah, Robley excited, huh? Number 22 defensively. Makes a big hit there, trying to get his team excited along with him by jumping up and doing a little cheering following that play.
It'll be 3rd and 6. Central is 3 for 4 on third down conversions today.
Now, Robley's action really important. The team needs enthusiasm. They need some kind of a demonstration of leadership. Robley gave it to him on that last play.
3 receivers here and a lot of field to work with. Conforti has a man open. It's Evans. Good pass breakup. Kelvin Veras with the play from his quarterback position.
Hey, drop, got near the end zone, then he had to look around, find the man. I'll tell you what, credit Conforti for hanging in there. Quarterback is going to take a shot. He is going to get it from Hines. But then downfield, look at Veras, found the play, came across, got in front of the intended receiver, and knocks it away. This is outstanding defensive back play. Huh? Looked like he had been beaten at first, but he knew he had the speed to close and recover. He closed and recovered, no touchdown.
So instead, Jim Meert will go for a long field goal attempt here, a 37-yarder. Gutkowski is a good one. It's a long kick, high and through, field goal. Jared Gutkowski with authority. And there is a flag down on this play.
Tell you what, he's quite a kicker. He owns all the kicking record. Well, not all of them, but an awful lot of them at that school. And you can see they have the
We
confidence.
have a live ball foul, illegal shift on the offense.
Back them up another 5 here. Do you think they try it from 5 yards further? I don't see why not after that kick.
Well, it would have been good, wouldn't it, from 5 yards? You could have moved him back 10. What happens here when you move it back is really in the head, not in the foot. Where so many kickers, particularly the ones that haven't been around that long, still the young guys say, well, I got to give it a little something extra. And the funny thing is, you give it extra and you get less.
Tom Fisher in his final game gives us the call of the illegal shift.
They're going to talk it over, call a timeout, and talk it over. Hunter and Central make a decision. I'd like to see him give him a chance.
Why not after that last kick?
You know, nobody's going to argue with Fisher if they know his story.
Well, they're talking some football, but we talk all sports on Sports Talk with Bruce Beck. Make it a point to tune into CN8 each weeknight at 10 for Sports Talk. Meet the players, media, and other sports personalities as they take your phone calls on area sports. Monday, December 7th, live at 10. Legendary boxing trainer Emmanuel Stewart comes in for a visit. He has Lennox Lewis, who fights Holyfield, coming up at the Garden in March. And then, mark down Wednesday night, it's coming Wednesday, December 9th at 10. John Starks from the New York Knicks stops by. They don't really play basketball much anymore, but Starks will come by and talk about the lockout, the Knicks, and more. Sports Talk each night at 10 here on CN8, and a lot of Bruce's fans checking this one out.
Yeah. Go Red Devils. They've been saving that all day long, hoping to get on screen. They did. Look at this kick.
Here comes the try. And this one hits the crossbar. No good. Hit it and bounded out. Missed a 42-yard field goal. Gutkowski nearly had it.
Well, he had the right area, didn't he? Here we go. Here we come. Come on, come on, come on. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get it up there. Ooh, stretch, stretch, stretch. Looks like it's going to make it, doesn't it? Looks like it's going to go in it. Boop. Miss. No good.
Mike, I've often made that mistake before, but even if you wanted to go through on the replay, you know, it usually doesn't change the outcome.
Can't talk it into it, huh?
Doesn't usually change.
Even if you're rooting for that club, huh? I wasn't rooting for the club, but I love to see big plays like that out of high school kids.
Sure. In the Bergen Catholic St. Joe Montvale game, we saw a 43-yard field goal, so I think on the turf it's even a little
Dead
easier.
ball foul, false start, offense.
I was saying nobody's going to argue with Fisher if they knew after this game. He's going down to Petersburg, down near Sea Isle City, and he has a ministry now. Huh? Just started, he and his wife, after working a lot of years at Prudential, and he's building up at Asbury Methodist Church in Petersburg. Great guy, great commitment to the community. He's done it on the football field. Now he's going to do it out in the general community.
Piscataway with the ball, down 21-6. Just over 4 minutes left in the second quarter here at Giant Stadium. Jackson, 8 yards on the left side, tackled by Lou Alperone, the senior. Tyshawn Jackson, good run.
You just feel they got to do this more often. They've got to use the speed of Veras and Jackson, get to the outside. That game in the middle has been won by Troilo, Mancino, and Cass, who've done a great job. So you got to get to the corners, use Veras and Jackson out there, see what they can do with their speed on a one-on-one.
Biggest game of Jackson's career, Mike, was last night. Clock should be moving here. 4 minutes left, especially after that run. Jackson is dumped that time, but they didn't stop him too much last week when he rushed 25 times for 300 yards versus Franklin Township and 3 touchdowns in his comeback.
Yeah, that really helps him. After those 4 games he misses to come up with 816 yards. This is a guy who would have been over 1,000 easily if he didn't have the injury problem this season. But, boy, do they close quickly on him. It's as if they were playing him and figure he's the guy we're going to key on. And Evans, who's had a big game, number 40, gets in there and puts the wood to him in a hurry.
3rd and 5 for Piscataway High School. Central Jersey Group 4 championship game here. Flags down all over the place. Dow throws incomplete. Nearly picked off again. Lou Alperone was looking for his second.
Illegal shift. 2 players moving at the snap on the offense.
them up 5 here.
Well, I don't know if they'll back them up or not as we look up here, but they're playing such good defense back here in the secondary. Have not been fooled at all. Quarterback Dow.
On the offense is declined.
Right, good
Fourth
call.
down.
Absolutely, make it 4th and have them kick. But Dow's gone straight back, showing pass so easily that with the lead, they'll be able to play with the cushion and take a couple of steps backwards and, hey, keep everybody in front of them. You have great speed coming at you. You've got to keep them in front of you.
Hubbard there. Evans also back with him to return this Larry Lester punt. Squibbed it near side. Got it up to midfield, not much more. About a 25-yard kick for Larry Lester. Good field position for Hunterdon Central. They got here by defeating West Windsor 41-13 in the quarterfinals, and then the Red Devils knocked off Sayreville 35-14 in the semis 2 weeks ago.
Not an easy trip, was it?
No.
A couple of pretty nice football teams they beat on their way to get here to Giant Stadium.
And the thing you have to like about this division, Central Jersey Group 4, seems like somebody different is winning it every year. Last year, it was Woodbridge. Years past, Marlboro, Middletown South, West Windsor, all these teams have gotten into the act. These two teams haven't won it in a while. Conforti fakes it, had the tight end Mazzetta, and he could not complete it.
I'm telling you what, when you run that play, time it so perfectly, and make a good fake so that the linebacker on the side of the tight end freezes and does not step back into pass coverage, you're going to be wide open the way Mazzetta was that time. They didn't connect it, they didn't make it, but that was a play that should have gone for at least 12, maybe 18 yards downfield.
Conforti has been a little bit off target. 1 of 5, 17 yards passing in this ball game. 2nd and 10, and we have whistles.
Timeout. Hunterdon Central.
Timeout called by the Red Devils. 3:02 left in the first half. Jim Beard's team on top 21-6. They are the number 1 seed here in Central Jersey Group 4. And if you want to find out about what's going on here on CN8, the air times for this game or any other, go to cn8.com, www.cn8.com for schedule, show topics, news and notes, recipes, AccuWeather. We've got it all. Even information on Mike Linder, believe it or not.
Yeah, I saw that the other night. How about it, huh? Big thing, those are recipes. I use that for Thanksgiving. How about you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, your recipe on Thanksgiving was get in the car, go to the shore, and look at Mom and see what she's got.
Well, you and I worked on Thanksgiving this year again. Did Archbishop Ryan and Washington in Philadelphia. Washington pulling the upset. At that point, Ryan was the number 1 team. A little anxious on the Piscataway sideline. Mike, our buddy Mick Moninghoff, is down in Philadelphia for the Catholic and Public League finals today, and those will air as well here on CN8. Melvin Hubbard into Piscataway territory at the 42-yard line. Got about 8 yards.
Yeah, they're going to look for first down, and then, they've used all their timeouts, so they're going to have to get the ball in the air soon if they're going to go and try and get that killer score before halftime to really hurt Piscataway in a big way. And they got to think first down. They need about 2.5, 3 yards for it. And they'll wind up having just about 2 minutes to go to the air, see whether Conforti can link up with one of his receivers for 6 more.
They go to the handoff, and Evans does get the first down. Jason Evans on the right side. Lester got him, but not in time. Clock stops to move the chains. 2:18 left in this second quarter. Hunterdon Central in really good position to increase this 21-6 lead. There's the Devil.
Yeah. Come on, you wouldn't think that she really needs that kind of explanation how to act like a devil. I'm sure that, what do you think, 16, 17-year-old? She's probably a real devil to start with, huh?
Yeah, she should take instruction from you. Throw across the middle, incomplete by Conforti. Intended for Mazzetta, who has been open a lot today, but they haven't connected much.
I'll tell you what, I want him to go one-on-one. I want to get Parker Jacks, number 84, hooked up against Lester down the sideline. Use some speed, some kind of little juke move down around 15 yards, turn to the inside, and come across. That's a guy that's going to be open, I'm telling you.
Jim Meert involved in the offense, but Tom Bill, former player for Penn State and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, not bad bloodline, huh?
Calls those plays. Conforti hasn't done much, as you saw, throwing the football. Second down and 10. Hubbard leapfrogs one defender and is run out at the 33-yard line. Melvin Hubbard, the junior.
They tried to get out of bounds, stop the clock, didn't happen. Too many bounces before he got there. Clock will keep running, and now they've got to think first down again.
They do. Hubbard 68 yards and a 31-yard TD mixed in there.
Well, they're showing poise, huh? They're sure not in any hurry. Sometimes you get into a hurry, and it can cause confusion. You get somebody jumping off sides, being too anxious. Conforti has kept them under control.
3rd and 5. Central is 3-4-5 on third down conversions in this game. Play action for Conforti. Tucks it under. Still on his feet. He's still behind the line, and now he's not. And Conforti gets the first down at the 25-yard line. He ran about 20 seconds off the clock during that play.
And this is a dance. Watch this all the way. You're going to be a quarterback. You can't have lead feet. You can't have two left feet. You got to be able to make the move. We'll have a chance, I'm sure, to look at it at some point, but Conforti really showed you how to jump around that time.
Into the 2-minute offense with now less than a minute left. Complete to Gaines, and Gary Gaines is stacked up at the 11 after a first down catch. They're into field goal range, and more importantly, they're into touchdown range here, and a touchdown here would be huge.
And they stopped the clock to move the chain, so they'll be able to get out to the line of scrimmage. The good teams know it's like a 2-minute drill. They're sure they know exactly what they want to run. Look, clock hasn't started yet. Now they wind it. Now it starts. Plenty of time.
1st and 10 from the 11. They spike the ball to kill the
snap.
clock.
Timeout. Timeout. Piscataway.
Timeout called by the Chiefs.
Ooh, how about that, huh? They want to make sure they get the defense set right, I guess. They probably figure they're going to stop the clock maybe anyway, but they say, we got them, we've got to use them. We're not going to save them, obviously. Now watch the footwork here. 1 step, 2 step. Now he looks. He comes out. He had a man straight downfield, but he could not get enough time to plant and throw the football, so he stops here. He's got to dance. Here he comes back. Whoop, step back, come around. I'll tell you, we've seen guys just get all trapped up with their feet on this AstroTurf, not being used to it. But Conforti looks like he's played here his whole career, hasn't he?
Really does. And Jim Meert is scrambled in his day, former high school and collegiate quarterback.
You know how good you got to be as a quarterback to play for a former quarterback? Huh? What pressure that must be. One thing the coach who was a quarterback has to do, he's got to say, hey, I got to step away and not relive my career through this kid. And he is not living it through him. He's living it through the team here, huh? Staying around football keeps you young as coaches and educators. There's Meert, a guidance counselor now at Hunterdon Central. Used to be a history teacher. I guess all coaches are, in a sense, guidance counselors, huh?
I would think so. More than just an X's and O's presence. Big play coming up. 44 seconds left in the second quarter. If they punch a score in here, Piscataway can basically forget it if they don't work a miracle in the second half. We'll see. Conforti incomplete in the direction of Melvin Hubbard. Stops the clock with 41 seconds left. 2nd and 10.
Well, we talked about it a little earlier, how important this drive was to Piscataway, more than it is to Hunterdon Central. It has not changed, the fact that they're down in closer now at the 12-yard line. Conforti wants the right play, trying to think, where am I going to find a man open downfield? 2nd down, 41 seconds. I'm not sure this isn't a bad place to run the draw, believe it or not. You know that the linebacker's going to be dropping, the defensive corners are going to go. Why not take a shot? You can get one more as our kicker gets ready for the field goal on the far side. There's the draw.
Conforti hands it off to Hubbard. Mike, good call, and he fights across the line for the touchdown. 2nd TD of the ball game for Melvin Hubbard. An exclamation point on this first half. Central has been just dandy, thanks.
Well, they had that time, as I pointed out, 40 seconds. You knew they could try some kind of running play. It would be the last one they could try. Then they have to go to the air. Thinking the same way on the far side, they call it. And boy, it was wide open, wasn't it?
Gutkowski to attempt the extra point. Wide open indeed. He was basically untouched. An 11-yard TD run. 18th touchdown of the year for Hubbard. Line drive, extra point, good by Gutkowski. 28-6. Seen a lot of blowouts here in these state finals. Hunterdon Central looking to go undefeated, looking to move into the top 5 in most polls in the state if they can continue this route of a good Piscataway team.
Now, we knew right here linebackers are going to go deep, so why not make a fake, go back like you're going to throw, pull one lineman. He didn't even have to throw a block, and then just let him motor to the end zone on the delayed play. Call it the draw if you will, but it's a delay handoff in the backfield. You're waiting for that secondary to get deep, and that gives you the opening. You just got to spurt with the speed to get maybe 5, 6, 7 yards. And oh, look at this. Huh? Is it open? Where's the linebackers? Waiting. Right there is a safety at that point waiting to make the stop. Asamoah just playing guard. Check it out. That will be Billups coming from the safety position. No linebackers at all. Great call by the offensive coordinator.
Warm day here at Giant Stadium. He loves Gutkowski, the kicker. Well, everybody's got to love somebody. Hubbard now 10 rushes, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gutkowski can feel the love. 11-yard TD run by Hubbard and a 9-play drive by the Red Devils. So Hubbard, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that is a killer. You're right. Bounding ball taken by Best. Anthony Best to the 37-yard line. Good run back, but not much time to work with. 29 seconds left in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, this changes halftime, doesn't it, for the coaching staffs? Without that touchdown, you go in and Piscataway, the players are going to be a little more willing to listen to you. They're going to hope that you can give them a message.
Follow the bouncing ball.
Well, they do this, of course, to keep you from being able to get the long run back.
Down, complete to Lester at the 45. 8-yard pickup. Clock runs because he was in the middle of the field. 15 seconds left. Time for a Hail Mary.
Boy, Central playing real deep. They're going to let them have the ones up close.
Dow gets out of bounds with 3 seconds left in the second quarter. He'll have one more shot.
Yeah, now it's time to wind it up, get the 3 receivers downfield in the same area, and see if Dow has the ability to throw it far enough to get it in the end zone. That'll be a real toss if he does. He's going to have to wind up throw the ball about 57, 58 yards to do that.
That is a haul for a quarterback at any level. 3 seconds left in the first half. Hunterdon Central has dominated a bigger Piscataway team in this game. Dow chased out again. And tackled at the 35. That is the end of the first half. Great pursuit by Jeff Evans. Hunterdon Central getting 4 first half touchdowns, 2 of them from Melvin Hubbard. Dow, the quarterback, is injured for Piscataway. We'll have an update when we come back. We have highlights and stats coming up. After this, you're watching high school football championship action on CN8. 28-6, your halftime score. Hunterdon Central looking to go 12-0 and looking to take this Central Jersey Group 4 state championship against Piscataway. We go into the halftime highlights. Varus off to the races.
I'll tell you what, looked like Piscataway was going to do it and do it big because they got there in a hurry with 5:13 left in the first. Varus on a play they've run all year long into the end zone.
Conforti's first completion went to the tight end, setting up a score.
This is the one they wanted. He could have run, but he looks downfield, sees his man, Mazzetta, wide open down around the 5-yard line. Struggles to get in, but he can't. But following that right away, their big guy, Carr, comes up with the 2-yard squib right into the end zone for the score.
That as they switched ends at the beginning of the second quarter, and then Carr would get into the act again, forcing a big fumble.
Big teams make big plays, defense or offense. Carr just did it offensively, now defensively. Knocks the ball away. Hunterdon Central comes up with the fumble recovery, and that's going to give him a chance to get points off of a turnover.
Melvin Hubbard was getting hungry. 31 yards would be the number he would race in.
Yep, big backs love to see huge holes. Hubbard saw it that time and turned all the jets on to get him in 31 yards for the touchdown.
That made it 14-6, and then a big fumble forced by Seja. Cass would recover, and he'd take it all the way.
Cass rumbles in 17 yards. I guess that's a rumble. It's sure not an explosion of speed. Didn't have to do it.
Hubbard again, this time from 11 yards out. It would make it 28-6.
This is the killer, maybe, the one right before halftime with 35 seconds left. They used the draw, last running play, to get in for the score.
Red Devils dominant, 11 first downs to 6, killing them in rushing yards, passing yards even. Turnovers have been a factor for Piscataway, 3-1, and penalties, not so much. So that is where we stand at halftime. 28-6 is your score. The great Hunterdon Central Band is out there. We saw Piscataway before this game. Two big schools playing a big football game here in Big Giant Stadium. Let's go to third quarter action after this break. Hunterdon Central on top here on CN8. Piscataway has a lot of making up to do. Hunterdon Central leads this game 28-6. Here's we head to the third quarter. This is the last play of the second quarter. Mike Dow, the quarterback for Piscataway, will try to be brave.
Well, you know, he was going to go out of bounds, and he realized it won't be any time anyway, so he comes back inside, and it almost cost him dearly because he comes down and injures that right ankle here. There was some concern about it at halftime. We had a chance to talk to him, and Dave, he gave us a pretty good quote.
Yeah, he said, it's kind of okay.
Kind of okay, huh? I'll tell you what, he gets a quick score or two, it'll feel a lot better real fast. He goes down, the team loses by a couple of more touchdowns, and it ain't going to feel very good at all, is it?
Things not feeling good for Joe Caroni right now, the ninth-year head coach for Piscataway, former longtime assistant here as well. All of his assistants have been there.
You're going to wonder pretty soon if there's a hex, huh? 94, 95 make the final and lose, and then in 97 last year losing the semis to Woodbridge 28-14. They're going to say, what's wrong? We fight all year long to get to the playoffs and give our team the message, and then we don't get the championship.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I don't know if that's appropriate in football, especially with a guy like Villafane, 63, who's pumping him up. He's going to kick things off here in the second half.
I need a good special teams play, a good hit down at the end, and maybe hold them back below the 30-yard line, 25-yard line, and with some enthusiasm, that'll get them fired up.
Hubbard and Evans are deep as we get set for the third quarter of action here at Giant Stadium. Taken by the up back, and a good return by Sean Batoni to the 42-yard line. He's been all over the place on special teams, a sophomore.
Well, they did get a good hit at the end of it on him, but the problem was the end of it is at the 42-yard line. Excellent field position for Central to start here in the second half.
Hunterdon Central had key wins this year against teams they rarely beat. Hillsborough, Franklin, Trenton, Confordia, a big part of that. And he rushed for 59 yards in the first half. Hasn't done much with the arm, but it's not really his game.
And the quarterback's 10-plus yards each carry. You know he's doing a good job. Just under 12 yards a carry.
Hubbard spins for a couple more. Up to the 46-yard line. Gets about 4 yards. Melvin Hubbard now, 11 rushes for 84 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
You know, you get a little guy like this, and you've got to convince him what we talked about at the beginning of the ball game. You can say it here. 11 carries for 84 yards. That's pretty convincing for him. But what you have to tell him is, look, you will take the bang, you will take the hit, but you will get the holes eventually, and that's when you'll get the glory on the big runs. You have to convince them of it.
Fumbled, but picked up by Evans, and on the AstroTurf, he gets the true bounce.
Hasn't he had a nice day for a senior, huh? His final game at Hunterdon Central, his final game in his high school career. He's been doing an outstanding job defensively and getting an awful lot more action, I think, today than he thought he was going to get offensively.
Jason Evans will swap out on this play and take a rest. These Hunterdon Central assistant coaches, you saw some of them on the sideline, a very distinguished group. They're 4 for 6 on third down conversions, and they'll pick up the first here with a big gainer out to the 40-yard line.
I love
and
this.
Carr again.
Now we may see a change over here on the other side as Mike Purnell, the sophomore quarterback, is getting a chance to warm up, and standing there is Dow alongside of him. And Dow may have said, hey, I'm really not sure I can go. So Purnell will be ready in any event. Yeah, I like the job that Carr's doing out there, that junior. That time ran a little veer, comes up on the dive and went to the outside where the opening was. It's called a veer run.
Carr again. Veers left this time up to the 38-yard line. Got 2 or 3. Jermaine Coleman there for the stop.
Now the key on that veer, the reason it's a nice play if you have backs who are able to execute it, it lets Eberstein and Royal, the tackles, take their man whichever way they want to go. Normally in blocking patterns, you're supposed to take them right, take them left, whatever the case may be. But when you run the veer offense, they will be allowed to take them in any direction. The back has to be smart enough to know how to run it.
Conforti on the option was stopped, so he pitches to Hubbard, who is still on his feet at the 20-yard line. First down as Hubbard nears 100 yards on the evening. Melvin Hubbard, 1,511 yards coming in, and he continues to add to that total.
This first time we've really seen Conforti get rid of the football when he's run this. And look at the courage he shows there. One-handed pitch back to this guy who has gone downfield. Hubbard uses the hand here. He might have been called for, by the way, for a face mask. You can be called offensively for that also. He comes down here, going to try and run off the block of Steve Carroll, number 81. He gets an additional 6 yards as a result. Hubbard shows us some speed and running ability on that one.
And he does go over 100 yards. And Hubbard again leaps and picks up 2 or 3 down to the 18-yard line. Roger Hopkins, who was injured earlier, is back in there. Number 53 for Piscataway in on that tackle.
Yeah, they got to have him out there. I mean, he's just so important to him defensively, and he has been the leader out there, and he's the senior. He's got to try and convince him. Guys, let's not let him have another score down here. Remember we talked about how important it was to try and deny him at the end of the half when they had good field position? More important maybe right now at the beginning of this half to deny him.
Early third quarter, Hubbard surveys the situation, dances down to the 11-yard line, 1 yard shy of the first down. A 7-yard pickup for Hubbard, who is picking up momentum.
Yeah, how about it? Not many backs have this, the old stop and go. Stop and go. Come on down, we'll find it. Is there anything there? Let me see. I'm going to survey the situation. Now I'm going to go again. Bang! Right like that. Did he make the guy miss or what? Did he make the defensive back Jackson just look foolish on that play as he stood there on a dime and then, boom, exploded away to the outside. Now look at that, 226 to under 100.
Conforti gets the first down. That's their set play on short yardage, and it hasn't failed them yet. Andrew Conforti, the QB, picks it up, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
And he thanks Anthony Petraglia, number 59, for throwing the key block. Remember that long drive, that 16-17 play drive they had in the opening half? That was a clinic. This drive is just as much a clinic as that one was. Whether they're running inside or outside, they seem to be getting everything they want out of it.
Yep, not great balance in terms of pass run, but good balance within the running game. Well, a stumble and a loss of yards that time for Melvin Hubbard.
Yeah, but credit Hubbard that time for having enough presence of mind to get on top of that football. Well, what do you suppose it said before? Go Hunter and Central beat Piscataway. Looks like it was covered up, didn't it? I wonder what they had there, huh? Maybe it just didn't pass muster. Huh?
Kill Piscataway. Stomp Piscataway.
Yeah, probably. That's probably what it was. Couldn't have been that group that had that in mind.
It looks like a gentle group.
Absolutely.
There. 2nd and goal from the 8. 7:32 left in the third quarter. Conforti to the money man. Hubbard, nothing, stopped at the line.
You wonder how this happens, huh? Unless the other team all of a sudden says this is the drive where we got to stop them. They seem to be having their way, and now, of course, they had the little fumble in the last play, and then this one stopped them in their tracks.
Mike Zizmanovich, who we saw 87, tackled him. His dad teaches at Piscataway, and there are a lot of legacy-type stories with the Piscataway football team. Saw Tyshawn Jackson, his older brother Eric, played here. A lot of sons of former Chiefs and brothers in the lineup. Hubbard, couple, and a collar him. Ricardo Allen got him around the shoulder pads.
And Allen hits you, you know you're hit. When a guy stands only 5'10", but comes in at 290 pounds, as does number 79, you know you're hit. Field goal time again. Uh-oh, injury out there, and this is going to concern Jim Meert. And I hate it when they grab that knee, huh? Hate it when they grab that knee.
Craig Hutchinson is the trainer for Hunterdon Central. 28-6 is the score. We're back after this on CN8. Dan Eberstein, the junior tackle for Hunterdon Central, was injured on that last play, helped off the field. We're getting set for a field goal try for Gutkowski, the senior, from 24 yards out on the far hash. Conforti, the QB, is the holder. It's a good kick, hits the pole again, and again no good. Poor kid. Jared Gutkowski.
You know, what comes into play here?
Well, the narrow goalposts come into play, and we'll see it on the replay. Tough angle.
6 feet difference between the pro and the high school, and that means nothing but doink. Not going to make it. Sometimes it bounces in. This time it bounced back out. But you take that 6 feet difference, and it makes all the difference in the world for the 3 points there, and gives Piscataway an opportunity for to stay in this ball game if they can get the drive going.
You didn't do your begging job that time of the replay when it hit the pole.
You told me it didn't do any good last time.
Kelvin Veras, 3 yards up the gut. Jackson actually with that carry, tackled by Ryan Cass.
Really been difficult for Veras and Jackson, except for that one nice run that Jackson gave us early in the ball game. They've been held way down. Dow is struggling throwing the football, 4 for 10, but just for 32 yards. And through that interception, it was key as a turnover leading to scores.
No scores for either team here in the third quarter. 5:40 left in the third. It's still 28-6. The team in red, Hunterdon Central, leads it. Now they lean up to the 25-yard line with Tyshawn Jackson, Jeff Evans, Lou Alperone combined for the tackle.
Field position, so important in football games always. You know, a team that's behind by the score that we see here in this ball game, they say, we've got to throw the ball at least every other play, 1 out of every 3, if not that, and hopefully not just in third and long situations. But when you're down deep in your own territory, it kind of changes the selections you make.
Third down conversions, a bugaboo this year for Piscataway. Only 31% of the season and only 2 for 6 in this ball game. 3rd and 5 from their own 25. And blocked at the line of scrimmage, but still caught by Larry Lester. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to see him take Lester and bring him in motion across the backfield instead of just turning and throwing the ball out here. He has one-on-one coverage all the time. Look at that good reach. Jason Troiolo, number 77, comes up and really redirects that ball, slows it down, allows the defense to close. But let's get Lester into the ball game, move him a little bit. He's going to punt here.
Larry Lester will punt to Hubbard. Lester plays on all 3 teams, offense, defense, special teams, and a good spiraling kick. Fair catch made by Hubbard at his own 43-yard line.
Lester sees a lot of action, doesn't he, for a sophomore? Amazing young man. Great career ahead of him.
Scholastic Sports Weekly, Michael, is one of my favorite shows, and Mick Moninghoff is the host. You can check it out every Thursday at 9 p.m. Doesn't end when football season does. Features, interviews. For the scheduling info, it's www.cn8.com. Scholastic Sports Weekly, Thursdays at 9 here on CN8. Mike Carr, the fullback, up to the 47-yard line. Picks up about 4 on first down as Hunterdon Central just tries to maintain their conservative offensive approach.
There's a skull. There's a skull right there. See, remember, the skull is for the defense, the star for the offense, huh? He's got a lot more offense he does than defense, doesn't he?
I think he's running out of room.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he'll get a number of skulls from the defensive plays made today. He's had around 3 or 4 biggies.
On 2nd and 7, Conforti, the quarterback, rushes up to midfield, gets about 3, and there's your guy again, Ricardo Allen, 5'10", 290.
You know, they read something in the scouting report that said to Conforti, as you come down that line, don't run the option, as we pointed out in the first half normally. Come down and be looking for an opening right away, because he's been jumping into the 2-hole, the 4-hole on one side, the 3, the 5 on the other side, which is not the normal place for the quarterback to go.
If you're looking for a difference in this game, Piscataway 2 of 7 converting third downs. Hunterdon Central 6 of 8 going into this play. They fake the reverse and they don't get it. Melvin Hubbard is racked up by Joe Billups. First time we've called Joe's name, a junior strong safety.
Well, I'll tell you what, Billups gets the tackle. He gets the credit, goes into the stat book under him. Billups, the junior, will say thank you very much, but he better thank number 53, Hopkins, I believe it was out there. See if it's Hopkins who comes out and disturbs his play early. That's the man. He is a fine football player. We talked about it. That just slowed Hubbard up enough to let Billups get there. The guy that makes the stop isn't always the one that makes the play.
Veras to return the kick from Eric Simon. Only the second kick for Simon. His team has done so well offensively. The services have not been needed. Friendly roll for the Red Devils out at the 24-yard line, pinning Piscataway deep in their own end. 2:09 left in this third quarter. Simon gets the job done in the center of your screen.
Well, I'll tell you what, he sure had hang time, and then he was very fortunate. Ball came down and bounced in the right direction for him, where he picked up an additional 8 yards and got him down to the 24-yard line where they pinned him. They're a little comforted now, huh, by the score, or disturbed, one or the other. They sure don't feel that there's an excitement going on right now.
I think that must be the Piscataway sideline.
Waiting for something to happen.
He's trying to steal her hat. Call security. Tyshawn Jackson fumbled the football, left it out there, couldn't get it, and it's recovered by the Red Devils. Eric Simon gets into the act again. Well, maybe that is the Hunterdon Central side. Simon with a good punt and a fumble recovery.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, looks like they finally are going to get something going. Jackson finds an opening for the first time since early in the ball game. Turns back to the inside, then says, get me a block out here. Ball knocked away, and then he can't handle it, and Simon says, give it to me.
Looks like Jason Troilo forces this fumble for Hunterdon Central.
Sure does. And look at it just get away from him real quick. Had another shot at it. Good play, and remember, they've been taking advantage of the turnovers. See if they do it here.
They start them young at Hunterdon Central. The assistant coaches said that is the best part of our town. All the youth leagues, the community support for not only sports but other activities. And it's really built up a well of talent and participation. Hubbard with the carry. The moms and dads have been a big part of it for the Red Devils.
You know, they give out game balls, and they don't always go to players. Frequently, they'll pick out somebody in the community who's made a contribution to the Central football program. And, boy, what a thrill that has to be. You're not looking for it, you're not asking for it, and then a captain and a coach shows up and presents you with a game ball.
Jason Evans, 8 rushes, 30 yards for Hunterdon Central. He's been a big part of their offense. 1:30 left in the third quarter. Central on the move again from the Piscataway 30. Mike Carr busts up to the 27.
Yeah, we looked at it when we were preparing for this game. We didn't think we had it right when, as Lester, the sophomore, just the youngster for Piscataway, comes in with a big play. He says it right there on his helmet about big plays. It says no big plays for him, however, meaning don't get beat by a big play. But we were surprised. We looked at it, 8 juniors starting offensively for Hunterdon Central. We said that cannot be right. Checked it a couple of times, but it is. It's that outstanding class.
They have turned it around. Past 2 years combined, Hunterdon Central only 5-13. This year they're looking to go 12-0. Carr with another bruising run, close to a first down, up to the 23-yard line. He's also a nationally ranked wrestler.
Well, they do it all. Wrestling, lacrosse, basketball, football. This whole roster of Jim Meerts is studded with multi-sport athletes.
24 seconds left in the third quarter. The Hunterdon Central sideline is letting their team hear about it. And they go on 4th and 1 from the 23-yard line. Why not? 0 for 2 on 4th down conversions. Until that, Evans to the 20. And what a way to end the third quarter. Hunterdon Central is on the move. They will swap ends. And when we come back with fourth quarter action, another good chance for Jim Meerts' team to score. It's 28-6 Piscataway Trails on back at Giant Stadium. Glad you are too. Hunterdon Central leads Piscataway 28-6 as we go to the fourth quarter in this Central Jersey Group 4 state championship game. Along with Mike Linder, I'm Dave Popkin. Mark Payton on stats. Hand off to Hubbard. who's having a big day, stopped by Joe Billups after he picked up a few.
He'll pick up a few inside, but I'm telling you what, next play they're going outside to the right side. A lot of room. Ball sits on the left hash mark, and the young man who's gone over the 100 yards, 109 today, may get a chance on a little option action, something of that nature from Conforti. I look for him anyway to slide to the right. What do you think?
Got a lot of field to work with. 2nd and 8 from the 18. See if they try that.
There it is.
He does run to the right side, and Conforti pitches. Down to the 5-yard line goes the backup tailback, Danny Bavona, the junior.
Yeah,
and there is a flag down.
They're going to call forward lateral here on him. It really was questionable, but I guess with the score sitting where it is.
During the run, we have a clip on the offense.
Yeah. I thought they called the forward pitch. But I'll tell you what, you just felt they were going to go that way. But look at Conforti. We checked him out before. He is just doing a great job. I wonder if he took a little ballerina lessons as a youngster. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, for football players or any athletes. Get into a dance class. Get control of those feet. And then Bavoni shows us a chance that demonstrate that he's a runner also. I'm serious. A lot of guys
During
do
the
it.
run, clipping on the offense, replay, 2nd down.
You smile when I'm talking about that. I was about to tell you about the many years I spent in dance class. I guess that's why you were laughing, huh?
Well, I believe it. Our director doesn't want to know any more about your dance habits.
All right.
You often dance up here in the booth, and I was wondering where you got your formal training.
That's it.
And now we know. Fred Astaire. Hubbard takes the pass out of the backfield up to the 33-yard line. Incidentally, our director is John Anderson. Our producer is Stan Ritter. And great job by our entire CN8 crew here today at Giant Stadium. A healthy crowd on hand. You and I had a very healthy crowd last night, too. About 16,000 fans here for the St. Joseph of Montvale Bergen Catholic game. And a little bit less than that here for this contest.
Well, they fill them up. They run enough games through here in a couple of days, don't they?
Well, they caught your boy eating there. That's dinner time.
At least. Look how hard he was holding on that soda there. He was getting excited. Wasn't going to let that spill. Look at this.
Complete to Mazzetta. And the tight end. Home free. Touchdown. Hunterdon Central has absolutely dominated. And Mazzetta, the junior tight end, may have just put them over the top.
I don't think there's much question about that at this point, but you got to ask the question, who in the world was assigned Mazzetta? What defender had the tight end coming out off the line of scrimmage? Conforti himself had to be surprised, had to be somewhat shocked, didn't he? When he turned and looked downfield and saw Mazzetta just so wide open.
Mazzetta had a big gain in the first half that led to a touchdown, and now he scores from 34 yards out. Gutkowski's extra point try. Perfect as usual. Jared Gutkowski. He makes it 35-6. Hunterdon Central on top.
Tell you what, he's got to do his best, doesn't he, now, not to let a smile come out. He's still got 10 minutes and 12 seconds to coach his team. He's got to keep that look of a coach, huh? He can't really tell him yet, guys, enjoy it. Look at this excellent faking, but more importantly, Conforti says, how can you be that open? Well, there was the mistake. Apparently, the corner's assigned in that area, and all that Calvin Beal can do is look downfield and say, I'll try to catch up to you, Jarrett, but I'm not going to get there. And Jarrett says, I got 6. I'm in.
First touchdown pass for Conforti. He's now 4 of 11 throwing the football, and in the long history of that high school, they only won one state title, and Mazzetta's 34-yard TD catch is going to go a long way toward number 2. It was 1979, 19 years ago, when they defeated Manalapan to win the state championship. They lost in '83 to Middletown North, but they're not going to drop it this year.
This Gutkowski, by the way, is going to make somebody very happy at the college level as a kicker.
This one a little bit short to the 15-yard line. Melvin Veras across the 25 to the 29, where he's finished up by Mike Callanan, a sophomore
Yeah, look at this group. Let's see if we can figure out what they go. We got that much, didn't we?
Central.
Well, they call them Central down in that area. You got 100 and South, 100 and North, then you have 100 and Central. So they go by North, South, Central. Very much like the Toms River situation. A club that we're going to see tomorrow down at Rutgers, Toms River South against Ocean City at a big football game.
Yep, many more games to come here on CN8. High school football galore at this time of year from all the big stadiums. Larry Lester with the completion, tackled by Al Perone.
Parents, grandparents, the whole family comes out, huh? Championship time.
Absolutely a proud history at 100 and Central. Their fans have waited a long time for this.
The younger siblings. You know, you bring the little ones here. They see a championship game, and here are the families talking about it. You may think they're not computing it, as we see the very, very close today. Give it to them. Yep, first down.
Yep.
You don't think they're not computing it, but guess what they are? All of a sudden, these guys out there who look like old men to them, to the young ones, they become the role models and heroes, and that's what keeps the program going.
Well said. And that's how it works. 9:41 left in the fourth quarter. 35-6. 100 and Central leads it. Tyshawn Jackson has been quiet except for one big run today.
Saw that one early, remember, and we thought it was going to be a different story than what we've seen so far in this ball game.
Bird's eye view from up there.
Doesn't want to miss any of it, does he?
Happy day for them. Talked about all the alums that have come back and coached as well for 100 and Central as they double them up in total yards, over 300 total yards.
There's a chance for somebody.
Hitting the backfield.
Yeah, on the sideline.
Ball's weakly out of bounds as Dow is knocked down again. He's been really battered in this ball game.
If you're going to sprint, you got to sprint and get out there because there's always going to be backside pressure. And one more time, where do we see the pressure coming from? Jason Troilo, number 77. You're going to run a sprint pattern to the right side, then sprint out there. And Mike Dow, Sr. ought to know that.
Dow and the Chiefs forced to deal with a 3rd and 8 situation from their own 40-yard line, just 29% converting third downs in this ball game. Down by about 4 scores. They have to air it out a little bit. They do put 3 receivers in the ball game. Varus in motion for Piscataway. Flag down. Complete to Jackson. Tyshawn Jackson gets a great block, and he's out of the 35, the 30, 25, 24. It might come back. And Hopkins is down, injured again for Piscataway, but a fine run by Tyshawn Jackson. Tom Fisher will sort it out.
You got a lot of sorting to do here. It was thrown so early. It wasn't a dead ball situation. It wasn't that quick. Maybe somebody downfield didn't belong down there.
Illegal formation. 6 men on the line on the offense.
Well, you talked about all the receivers they had up there, and they had 2 men who were split to the far side. They must have been in the backfield. One of them had to come up as an end and apparently didn't do it. So one of their better plays, if not their best play of the day, offensively gets called back.
It's been that way all game long. Hopkins banged up. Will step aside. 8:39 left in this ball game. 100 and Central leads Piscataway 35-6 here on CN8. Dave Popkin, Mike Linder with you from Giant Stadium. It looked like Roger Hopkins, the senior co-captain, banged up his right knee again. He's helped off the field. Mike Dow, 5 of 12 passing, make it 5 of 13, and they're going to need for him to throw the ball if Piscataway is going to get back in this game. They're down 35-6. Check them out at Felician.edu for all of their stats and for all the admission information for Felician. Larry Lester to punt it away. Piscataway unable to get anything done on offense. Evans fumbled momentarily, but picks it up and rushes forward to the 45. Easy time now on the Hunterdon Central sideline.
Yeah, we watched them in the bubble beforehand. You just saw one of the assistant coaches wearing one of those shirts that they have. Every player was wearing it, the one that says, "I want it more." They've been wearing that shirt all season long. The other team, Piscataway with slogans, they have the shirt.
One thing that really struck me about Hunterdon Central before this one, they were so calm. I mean, these kids had never been here before to play a football game or to play in the playoffs ever. It was their first year in. Conforti rushes forward and is tackled by Kurt Robley, but these guys were very calm and not yelling and screaming. They just knew that they could do it.
Well, you know, the other thing is that NJSI AA and Giant Stadium give all the teams a chance if they wish to come in and practice in advance a day before this thing starts. And a lot of teams, if they're making too much of a trip, will not do it. Hunterdon Central said, of course we're doing it. So they were up here. They were in the surroundings. They got a chance to get a feel for the turf and get a chance to get a feel for the surroundings. I think it really helped them.
2nd and 8 for Central. Hubbard wins his way along the right side using a block from Luke Catanacci. 3rd down and about 6. Flag down.
During the run, clipping, offense.
2nd clipping penalty. Melvin Veras. It's been a tough day for him, and this is his last game. The 5'7" senior is at a banner year, set the all-time single-season rushing mark for Piscataway High School this year.
Yeah,
1,387 yards.
Plus what he gets out of
During
today's
the
game.
run, clipping, on the offense, replay, 2nd down.
Not what they thought the outcome would be. You're absolutely right. They're going to have to try and sort it out in their minds. And the nice thing about it for guys like Veras who are going to move on to another level is they'll be able to look back on it and say, hey, it was a heck of a team we ran into, and thank goodness they have other opportunities.
Devon Smith is the new quarterback in the ball game for Hunterdon Central.
Sophomore.
Late addition to the roster, in fact, and Hubbard busts one up to the 38-yard line, hit hard by Tyshawn Jackson, who's taking out his frustrations on the ball carriers.
Yeah, Smith probably didn't expect to see much action today, did he? 6'1", 190 pounds. And I'll tell you what, I think they are very, very generous with that 190 pounds.
Kind of thin, but we'll see what he can do with the offense.
Well, you know, sometimes you do that in the program. Beginning of the year, you put out stats to scare the other team when they read the breakdown of the club they're going to play against. In this case, they figure Smith isn't going to be out in the field that much. Let's make him at least 190.
Melvin Hubbard up to the 40-yard line. Yeah, when I played basketball at Neptune, as you see these girls still having fun, cheering on the near side, I was about 6'1", about 200 pounds, and somehow I've shrunk to about 5'10" and a half and 170. It's part of the game. (35-6) is the score. We're running a veer offense up here in the booth too, apparently, as this one is booted away.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
It's gone that way all day long for Hunterdon Central as they down it at the 16-yard line. Kurt Robley is frustrated, couldn't return that one. Take our final break, 5:53 left in the 4th quarter. Hunterdon Central big here on CN8. Piscataway, the bigger team, perhaps the faster team, but they've not been the better team today. Hunterdon Central looking to go 12-0. They lead at 35-6 here in the Central Jersey Group 4 state championship game. Dave Popkin and Mike Linder with you from Giant Stadium. Lester in motion, and they have to throw the football here.
And might as well get back there in the shotgun, huh? No, didn't do them any good this time. Everybody covered downfield. And the trouble is, you're running 3 receivers deep, and they're just running. Hey, the defense is already back deep, so that gives them nobody, in the case there's pressure, to be able to dump the ball short. You got to have somebody either flaring out of the backfield or a tight end on a delay, so that if you do get the pressure, you'll be able to get rid of it. Look at him, he's looking, he's saying, hurry up, guys. Well, nobody going to happen, and then that pressure's there. Tell you what, a job has been done today from the middle there by Mancino. I like him. Sal Mancino, 6'4", 230 senior, number 78. His number keeps showing up almost every time we look in tight and see what's going on in the middle.
He got the initial penetration. Seja and Mazzetta each register a half sack on that play.
There you go.
Oh, nearly completed, but dropped after being hit. Joe Billups hit on the near side by Danny Bavona.
Yeah, you like him, don't you?
He's had a big game.
Bavona has really come up strong. We did not have him listed as one of the players we thought would really be an integral part of the ball game, but he surely has been. Look at his hit. That'll wake you up and keep you from thinking about taking a pass without wondering who's going to come to get me. Shoulder pad right there.
3rd and 15 upcoming. Piscataway only 2 of 8 converting these 3rd downs in the game. It's been a big factor. Dow throws incomplete. Across the middle, intended for Kelvin Veras. They try to split him out and get Veras into the game that way because he hasn't gotten too many yards running.
It's gone. Let me get rid of it. I don't care anybody open or not. I can't take another loss here. Look downfield well before the receivers were looking to get the pass delivered to them. And he realizes it, does Veras, who was going downfield, coming out of the backfield.
Dow 5 for 15 passing. The frustration showing on the sideline for Mike Dow. Hubbard from his own 49, make it Evans. Evans spun down at the 46-yard line. Coverage by Joe Billups as he exacts some revenge.
Well, Hunter and Central going to be one of the teams that for the first time in New Jersey will feature a 12-0 mark. That can only occur as a result of the expanded playoff situation this year that was voted on by the coaches committee and then the coaches at large, the membership schools of the NJSIAA. Everybody wondered how it would turn out. I think it's been very, very successful. And the teams that are going to sport the 12-0 particularly going to believe it was very successful.
I agree. And Hunter and Central, though, makes it through the 8-team field as the number 1 seed, and they will take the crown as Hubbard gets a couple yards on that play. Justin Hines for the tackle along with Billups. Hubbard well over 100 yards. He'll be a Division 1A or AA prospect next year as a senior. A little small, though, 5'7", 175.
That's no doubt the hug that comes with the last play of your season. His day is done with 119 yards on 22 carries.
Timeout. Timeout. Huntington Central.
2 touchdown runs of 11 yards and 31 yards in the game. And there is Mike Carr being hugged by his dad, Tom Carr, the defensive coordinator. Not only a coach, but father and friend. And what a big game Mike Carr played. And they will be the state champs in 4 minutes, 2 seconds.
This is your whole group. I'm wondering where the sign says, Dave Popkin, we're here for you.
And maybe next year.
Now the young ones, I hear they really go for you. They tell you, they say, where's this guy that looks so young in the booth?
Well, the Yankees had a big year. Hunter and Central had a big year. It's a nice 1998 for that young man.
Glad he made the trip.
4:02 left in this ball game. 35-6. Hunter and Central leads it. And what a dominating season they have had. Kind of unexpected, but it's been a fun ride for them. Devon Smith with his first pass completion of the ball game.
Steve Caro getting a chance to get in the stat book, picking up the reception, number 81. Caro, a senior, that's good to see, huh? Talk about this being a junior-laden club, and guys like Caro maybe didn't see the action they had hoped in their senior year, and he'll always have that memory, won't he, of a catch here at the Meadowlands.
I'm just kind of surprised with 3:29 left that this has been so one-sided. Another good run for Hunter and Central as the backups start to shine. Brandon Seedall, a senior.
Yep, another one of those guys who've been in the program all the way, and then that wonderful group of juniors came along and they wound up taking a back seat. I love guys like this who stay with it, stay in the program. They are the contributors that really make the difference. They're out there all week in practice. It was the year they thought would be theirs. Turns out not to be, and yet they get this thrill here at the end. Credit those guys.
I agree. Scott Borowski, another senior, was out there blocking for him, and they give it to Seedall, and this time he's dropped for a loss. Nick Tranquina, one of two brothers on this Piscataway team, there for the tackle. 3:09 left in the game.
They're wondering where it went wrong, huh? What happened to the dream? Still have to play it out. 3 minutes still counting. You got to play it out, but they'll wonder for a while.
Well, it went wrong today, but a lot went right this year. They only had 2 losses coming in, both by 1 point, by identical 19-18 scores, and he dominated many opponents. Looked like Mike Hando taking the handoff and getting a couple. 2:35 left. I mean, Piscataway this year set school records for rushing yards, total yards, points scored, and they made it to the playoffs for the 4th time in 5 years, so you can't really complain. I mean, they ran into a buzzsaw today. .214 away from a big party.
Yeah, they're trying to get everybody in over there. You saw 53, Doug Jay, a sophomore, thought it was his turn. He'll have to wait at least to play.
3rd and 12 as they pitch to Brandon Seedall again. Dances out at the 18-yard line. Run out of there by Travis Tidwell. There's another senior seeing some action here late. See a lot of these guys. Tidwell in there. Shakur McCoy.
Well, we talked about the being the last game for Mr. Fisher, the referee. And you know what we always say about the good ones, the best ones at least, they're all good, but the best ones are the ones that you hardly know are there. I mean, they call penalty here and there, but they make no impact. And Mr. Fisher, today's referee, can be very, very proud of his performance and his crew's performance today in his final game as a official after 28 years.
Seamless. Devon Smith completes another one. This one inside the 10-yard line, and the guy's becoming his favorite target, Steve Caro.
Nice fake, good look, nice delivery, right to the spot. Had to come back for it. That's the way you run it when you have that defender on. You wait for the moment the quarterback makes the move and is prepared to throw, and then come back to the ball. Ball should be delivered short. You wind up getting the reception.
1:36 left. Seedall again.
Yes.
In for the touchdown. And what a great moment. Brandon Seedall, 5'9" senior, mobbed by his teammates in the end zone.
Now they can mob him, but he's excited whether they're there or not. Did not think in a state championship game, in a final, that as the backup runner, you're going to see much action at all. Not when you have guys like Carr and Hubbard in front of you. But there, the coach loves it when he's able to get his guy that's been with him so long out.
Hunterdon Central.
Hunterdon Central have to take a timeout now to figure out who in the world's going to play out here on the kicking team. Uncharacteristic confusion, but understandable.
Seedall, 5 carries, 33 yards on that drive, and an 8-yard score. Jim Meert.
He's got something to be upset at, huh? They had to call a timeout in order to get the special teams structured properly.
First time today that he needed to be upset. 41-6 with an extra point pending. It'll be Coach Meert's first state championship coming in. He had a 68-49-2 record in 13 seasons. Was kind of lean there for a while in the early 90s, but Red Devils really picking up steam. And on the other side, Joe Caroni, another solid year for his club. They'll finish up 9-3 last year. They finished 7-3 and lost to Woodbridge in the semis. Woodbridge would go on to win it, and this year they lose to the champion as well. Only it's in the state final game. Jared Gutkowski has had a solid day kicking the football for Hunterdon Central. He has had plenty of opportunity.
I'm recruiting him. I love it the way he puts that ball up there.
High, straight, and true. 42-6. Gutkowski has been money on the extra points in this ball game.
Would not have said it if you asked me. Now, what's it say? Number 10, obviously.
That's
I
it.
love number 10. Isn't that nice? That's got to be, hopefully, the relative.
1:26 left. A lot of crazy, happy fans on that side.
A moment to remember, as the senior does not usually get much chance, gets an opportunity here, Brendan Seedall, to get into the end zone. And looked like he didn't know whether I should turn back inside or not. Watch him. He says, there's one little almost false step here. Should I go all the way? No, back in. All right, and gets in inside that block, read it well.
Normally in December, Mike, we'd call people crazy for going shirtless here at Giant Stadium. We've seen it before. As you see the situation, Hunterdon Central big late, but it's been like 60, 70 degrees here over the last couple days of these championship high school football games. Certainly thanks to Giant Stadium for the use of the facility. Great job by the NJSIAA putting on the event. Best up to the 22-yard line on the kick return. The NJSIAA runs 31 championships in different boys and girls sports, the most of any state in the nation, and they too should be commended.
Well, you talk about the way Giant Stadium comes through and the NJSIAA. How about the CNA crew? Have you seen a group that's gotten together and has put in more time and kept the production quality so high, as they always do, but under these conditions do as many games as they've done, and they're not done yet.
Exactly. More games today and tomorrow, and a big hug over there for the coach, Jim Meert. One of his top assistants is Don Soma, who won 3 state championships as a head coach himself.
He was in the finals 6 times, right?
Yep, and he brings a wealth of experience to Hunterdon Central, a great coaching
Personal
staff.
foul, grasping the face mask on the defense.
15-yard personal foul penalty on the Central defense here with 1:15 left in the game. Coach just cheering his
Personal
guys.
foul, grasping the face mask on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Well, there's the smile, huh?
It'll be Jim Meart's first state championship. His team will likely finish in the top 5 in the state of New Jersey. Number 1 seed goes the route. They'll go to 12-0. Handoff to Mike Purnell. Purnell, backup QB, rushes forward to the 37-yard line as we get to 1 minute left.
Looking for anybody who hasn't been in that ballgame. Wants to make sure they get a chance. Wants Keith Kupasek right now, another sophomore. Uh-oh, here it comes. Get ready. He'll take it happily, won't he?
He wanted it.
Yeah. It wasn't the best, was it? It wasn't a sneak job. He saw it coming. He was going to back off, and he said, what are you kidding me? That's what this is all about. Probably would have been upset if he didn't get the bat.
What a fine run by Anthony Best, the junior. He's been featured a lot, and Jim Meart will have to do a lot of interviews after this one, and we'll get a lot of handshakes around town for the great job he and his staff have done putting this team together. One more play to be run in this 1998 season for Hunterdon Central.
It's all right there, huh? I'll look at that. Thank you, thank you. We worked our way to it. Don't have to say much more than do anything but look, do you?
Purnell up to the 40. 35-30. 5 seconds left. That's going to do it. They go wild on the far side. Clock stops with 4 seconds left.
Timeout.
Oh, wow.
Piscataway.
Don't like that.
Little false hope, I think, huh?
You don't like
Little
that.
false hope.
Timeout with 4 seconds left. Maybe they're getting some subs into the ball game. That would be the only reason, down 42-6.
That gives one of the coaches a chance to get out there and tell them, look, let's deport ourselves properly after the ball game. We got whomped, but hey.
Tom Carr and the entire coaching staff. Rodney Carter, former Pittsburgh Steeler there. A lot of guys that played college and pro ball on the coaching staff for Hunterdon Central. 4 seconds left until the melee. Although I don't know if we'll get that from this group. They've been so calm and composed all game long. Cornell airs it out. Incomplete. Pass interference.
Yeah, we might have a pass interference defensive penalty. It can't end. If that's the case, they'll bring it back, march off 15 yards, and give Piscataway another opportunity.
Intended for Asamoah. Coverage by Anthony Alperone.
Pass interference on the defense.
Well, they'll move it down half the distance here. Tom Fisher wants to stay on the field a little bit longer, Mike, his last game.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards, first down. We will have an untimed down.
Now, you know, he was also a basketball official for a lot of years. He thought he stayed at the dance a couple of years too long. But as far as this one, he said, hey, maybe I want to stay a little longer today, but I want to go out feeling good about what I've done. I want to miss it. He will miss it, but he's had a fine career.
Ball at the 16 as they mark it off half the distance. Open man deep, but tipped and knocked down. How apropos. The coverage by Kevin Wolf, and Hunterdon Central is the state champion in Central Jersey, Group 4. Coach Jim Meert and the Red Devils taste victory for the first time since 1979, and there is a mob down at the 10-yard line. An unforgettable moment for those young men.
As good as it gets. A lot of these guys will go on and play at the next level, but many, many guys in the pros and the big-time college programs will tell you nothing better than the high school days.
There was never a doubt. Hunterdon Central wins it 42-6. Post-game next on CN8.
Hunterdon Central big. They win the Central Jersey Group 4 state championship here at Giant Stadium. Dave Popkin with you field side with the victors, and Jim Meert is the head coach for Hunterdon Central. I saw an emotional scene over on the sideline as you ran and saw your family and the fans. Just a great time.
Awesome. It's been a tremendous coming together of people, and it's really been a mission, really, since about 1985. And Tom, Bill, and Coach Vergolito, who didn't have an opportunity to play in this game. And so many, many, many people that have pushed us to this point. It's just terrific for our school, our community, our young people. It's great.
I think the watchword for your team was balance. Everybody did it.
Well, we're blessed with great kids, and none better than Melvin, and just a terrific team effort.
We're going to talk to Melvin Hubbard in a second. 2 touchdowns, and what a game for the junior.
Well, we're excited about his being back next year. And we were losing some great seniors, but what a great thing. And I really want to compliment Piscataway. They've done a great job. We work together, and they're just a class group of people.
Coach, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Jim Meert, the head coach of Hunterdon Central, and Mike is standing by with our player of the game.
I got him, Melvin Hubbard, 22 carries for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. Melvin, you just had a great day, and nothing better, I guess, than the first one, that blast play off the left side. Why don't you tell us about it?
It was a blast left, and we went to the weak side because we felt they were really good and strong. I got the ball. The offensive line, Dan Eberstein and Anthony Petraglia made a great hole, and it was just there. There was nothing in front. It just kept running.
That's the way backs love it, don't they, when they have that one now? Yeah. There was another one that was really great, that 11-yard delay right near the end. Tell us about that play.
Yeah, we wanted to try to catch them off guard before first half because we thought they'd feel that we were just going to go straight at them. It was a hog's right. We thought we'd do a little tricky play, just go right at the middle. Obviously, it worked.
Well, you did it. Great job there, and you must feel real good about this group. Super bunch.
Yes, it's a great bunch. We're going to miss the seniors next year.
Okay. Congratulations, Melvin. Go enjoy it. Celebrate with the rest of the team.
Okay.
All right. Melvin looked like he just knew give him the ball to be the opening there because he knew he had a great line. That's a good team, good football team.
Very good. They finish up 12-0. Mike, Central Jersey Group 4 champs. We thank you for watching. Great job by our entire CNA crew. And now for Mike Linder, I'm Dave Popkin. Your final score once again, Hunterdon Central 42 and Piscataway 6. Thanks for watching. So long from Giant Stadium.